The crowd that had gathered in the street ahead of our rig broke suddenly, with people scattering in every direction, driven by the sound of gunshots ringing out. Hunter sputtered a curse and sunk down low in the passenger seat. I counted 4, 5, 6 rapid shots. It was hard to see who was shooting, or what they were shooting at, but I imagine it had something to do with DPD showing up. Someone didn't want to go to jail. I didn't even flinch initially. After all these years, I've seen a lot of shit, especially gunshots. I'd worked in the D so many times it would surprise me more to have a week go by without a gunshot wound. 2 more shots rang out, and I glanced to Hunter. He had managed to cram the entirety of his skinny body down on the floor in the front of his seat. His small, compact frame was ideal for turtling. Me, on the other hand. More shots fired, this time immediately followed by the sound of glass shattering as the windshield in front of me fractured. I doubled over, trying to compress my 6'2" frame as much as possible behind the dash. Another round penetrated the windshield, and I felt glass as it rained into the cab of the ambulance around us. God it! I clenched my eyes tight and tried to get even smaller. My foot slid and mashed down on the gas pedal, causing the diesel engine to race from idle. Over the roar of the engine, I heard shouting. Cops were screaming at the shooter, I think. I couldn't make it out before I heard another shot, followed by a hail of gunfire. It was over as quickly as it started, and all I could hear was the thundering whine of the engine. I backed my foot off the gas. The sound of Greektown nightlife had been replaced with screams, some crying. Radio chatter, too. Police were talking. I started to sit up, Hunter rising with me at the same time as we looked around wide-eyed. What the fuck? Holy shit, Badger! He gestured at the gaping holes in the windshield. Turning back, he fingered the bullet hole in the wall segment directly behind where his head had been. That almost took my fucking head off. Assholes. Hunter. I swatted his shoulder to get his attention. Through the cracks in the windshield, I could see one of the DPD officers carrying someone draped in his arms. He was double-timing it toward us and yelling for help. The seemingly lifeless body he carried looked female, pretty young. The gown draping her frame said she was going to, or coming from, some formal event. Long tendrils of pearlescent white fabric were trailing behind, reflecting the reds and blues of the flashing light bars. The blood soaking through her gown glistened with each flicker of the squad car's strobes. She looked pale enough to be dead twice over. She looked a lot like Sarah. Time to go to work.